Beep beep, everybody. We're on the Pennsylvania Turnpike. We're headed to the Adamstown Antiques Extravaganza. Today is Wednesday, September 21. I know this video will get posted in a week or two. The Extravaganza is held 3 times a year in April, June, and September. The one we're going to starts on the 21st and ended on the 25th. But we stayed from Wednesday to Friday. There are 22 antique malls and stores in this area, and a lot of them have 20% off the entire store, and some of them are just selected booths. We're looking for exit 286 for Route 222 for Reading and Ephrata. Where we're getting off at is called Denver, Pennsylvania. And when we get off at the exit, we go through the toll booth and we pass under 222 where there are 2 lights. And then the next light after that is Route 272, where these stores are located both north and south of the turnpike. There I am putting my hand in front of the camera and being a goofball. And north of Denver is Adamstown, and south of Denver is Ephrata. And at the end of the video, we'll have a look at all the stuff I bought here. So here's our first stop, the Vintage Kitchen and Antiques. And this is on the north side of the turnpike. And this place has a lot of collectible glassware, swung vases, Pyrex. And here's footage that my wife took, and I apologize that the footage is on a different viewing than where I had it on landscape. But as you can see, there's loads and loads of swung vases here. So if you're interested in that, this is a great place to go. You might find that one missing piece you've been looking for. But in the back of the store, there's more glass, there's more antiques, and I even found some baseball cards. And I left with some, and some Phillies yearbooks. So we'll have a look at those at the end of the video. There's one of the proprietors of the store, and they kindly let us into the store an hour before it opened. We showed up not knowing that they weren't open, but they let us in anyway. So I really enjoyed my time at this place. So now we're down on the south side of the turnpike, more towards Ephrata, and this is 272 Antiques. And I'll definitely find some stuff in here. And here's some vintage cards at one of the booths that I really enjoyed looking at. There's a 68 Morgan and a 68 Billy Williams. There's a 67 Tony Perez and Jim Bunning and some team cards from back in the day. You can see they have football players. There's an 83 Gwynn rookie. And there's some basketball cards. There's a Bob Dylan CD and some belt buckles. And we come over to this side, and there's some more 67 cards and some modern cards. There's Star Wars stickers and Yu-Gi-Oh cards. And here's some more vintage. There was a Dave Concepcion rookie up there, Willie McCovey from 65. There's an Albert Pujols rookie. And I would come in here 2 times. I'd buy a couple things the first time, and later on in the day I'd have to come back and get some more. There's some unopened packs. And there's a set of KB cards and Ralston Purina and Ziploc. And I would grab 2 things from this seller. There's some minor league cards. And here's kind of a look from just one section of this store, and this doesn't even show the scale of it. I apologize for the bumpiness in the video. I had to slow it down to half speed so that I could talk and give you some information. This is my first time filming out in the wild, so I am going to learn from this experience and hopefully do better next time. Now, the next day, I only stopped in here to use the bathroom, but my wife needed to look around more because she didn't get to see as much the previous time we were here, and she found these, and these are $2 mystery packs in team bags, and I would leave with a bunch of these, and I'll show you those at the end of the video, but we'll probably open them up on another video because I bought quite a few of them. Our next stop is Adam's Antiques, and it kind of has this medieval look in the front of it with these two towers in front of it. And when you enter the store, they have 4 or 5 rows of glass cases. It's really a sight to behold. And there's a Mickey Mantle plate. And 1984 Expo Stewart set for $35. I thought that was too high, so I didn't bite. There's some Phillies buttons in the shelf below. As you can see, they have Pete Rose card on top of that. And there's some Star Wars stuff. A couple things in here I remember from my childhood, and I wish I'd saved them. And I'm not sure what this is. I call it a blue alien wearing sneakers. I didn't get a look at the price tag. I wish I had, because it's a very curious thing. And you can see there's a bunch of toy cars in the back, and there's sheets of Cracker Jack cards and some plastic cups and footballs, and there's a 91 Upper Deck set. The prices in this one were a little too high for my taste, and I already have a 91 Upper Deck set, and there's a 94 top set there, which I think was priced at $45. In this booth, I found all these 1960s and 70s, going into the 80s and 90s of Phillies yearbooks and scorecards and magazines. I opened up one of them and gave it the sniff test, and it didn't do too well, and so I didn't have time to go sniff every one of them, and I wish I did, because their prices were only like $2 or $3. So I didn't leave with anything after that. Now, outside the store, there's a nice row of trees, so we took the dog for a break outside, and we bring our dog everywhere we go, and he's having a fun time now that he finally got out of the van. Our next stop is Time Matters Antique Mall. And they have a good selection of baseball cards in here. Once we find our way into the store. And in the back of the store is all these glass cases. As you can see, there's a lot of other stuff too. There's a pig on a motorcycle. And I'm going a little too fast to see what's in there. This booth had a bunch of boxes and some cards. The prices on the boxes were about $10 higher than what you would find at Target or Walmart. There's a Stan Musial, and we'll get back to that card that's in the back there. There's some Star Trek cards down there and an Upper Deck set. Here's some more cards that Phil Niekro rookie really caught my attention. It was $150. There's an 86 Topps Traded Bonds there. There's some other cards. I came back the next day because I couldn't get that Niekro rookie out of my mind. And there's a Roberto Clemente there. And the seller moved the cards around. I could see it better, and it had a ding on it. And I just couldn't pay $150 for that. If it was $100, I probably would have bit. And there's my first Nolan Ryan rookie that I've seen in the wild. and the price on that was $1,552. I couldn't tell you if that was a good deal or not. It looked pretty good. Yes, in the back there, you can barely see it with the glare. That's an 87 Barry Bonds for $1,400. And next to it is an 89 Bowman Griffey rookie for $900 that was crossed out, and $600 was listed below. I don't know if these were Tiffany cards, but even if they were Tiffany cards, that seemed pretty high to me. And there's an 87 Greg Maddux for $100. And back there you see a McGuire rookie, and that's selling for $40. So the prices at this place were kind of high, so I didn't bite on any of these. The next stop was the Mad Hatter Antique Mall. And there is all kinds of stuff at this place. I mean, you could spend over an hour in this one. And there's some football and hockey cards and baseball cards. I had a look at the 60s and 70s box, and they were all commons. There was a 63 Robin Robertson card in there, but I already have that in my collection, and that one wasn't as good as the one I have. So I didn't bite on anything in here. And here's kind of a quick spin around. There you can see there's some collectible glass, and there's books and smalls and knickknacks and toy cars, vinyl records, paintings, all kinds of stuff. So there's a Clemens rookie, Yogi Berra that has a big crease in it for $100, and there's a Jack Lambert football card. There's a Ron Hansen autograph card. There was also an autograph card of Kent DeCalvi in this case, which I missed filming. There's an 83 Fleer and an 82 Donruss set. And there's some more cards, and I ended up not getting anything at this case either, but it was really interesting to look at. There's a 75 Nolan Ryan. Here's some more toys. I mean, if you're looking for vintage toys, quite a few of these antique places along Route 272 have a pretty good selection of them. I myself am not an antique toy collector, so I couldn't tell you if anything was a great deal there or if they were in the kind of condition that collectors were looking for. And here's an 81 Top Set in a binder for $170, which is the highest price I've ever seen for this. I mean, it looked great, but you know, I already have the set, but that's Mad Hatter Antique Mall. Okay, everybody, I hope you enjoyed the tour of the several antique malls we visited in Adamstown for the Adamstown Antiques Extravaganza. Boy, that is a mouthful. It's a little too many syllables for my wee little mouth to handle. So let's go over the stuff I got while I was down there. Let's start off with Vintage Kitchen, which had all those vases in there. Towards the back, there's a hallway, and there's like several rooms off the hallway that have lots of different things. I saw some trains in there and some vintage toys in the one. This one had Phillies yearbooks. And this looks really great for 1978, and I definitely gave this the sniff test, and it smells just fine. Anytime you're out somewhere and you come across used books or used magazines and stuff, make sure you sniff it before you buy it. And if you smell mold, put it down. Don't bring that into your house. It's just too much trouble. Anyway, I got that one for $10, and that was 20% off that price. And a 1980 official World Series program for the Phillies and the Royals. And I definitely had to get that. That was $20. And this was $18. This is the 83 World Series official program for the Phillies and the Orioles. And that is signed by Phillies starting pitcher Larry Christensen, who was with the team in the late 70s into the mid 80s, I think. I'd have to look that up to find out how long he was with them. And a 1988 yearbook for the Phillies, again signed by Larry Christensen, and this has a nice little surprise inside. Let me unfold it for you. I don't know if I don't have a whole lot of room to view these things, but this is an entire sheet of Richie Ashburn, issued by Campbell's Soups, which is located across the river in Camden, New Jersey. And it showcases, I guess, all of the baseball cards that Richie Ashburn had during his career, or at least most of them. And on the backs, they have basically what was on the backs of those cards. And it is copyright 1988, the Topps Company. I did not look these up to see what kind of shape they're in, or what they might be worth. There's a little crease across the back here, but nonetheless, that was a big surprise. I was more interested in getting this just because, well, it was a Phillies yearbook, and that it had Larry Christensen's signature, so that was a nice bonus. Vintage Kitchen also had some baseball cards. They had a case that had a stack in there, but I didn't have time to look at them. And on top of that stack was a 1952 Topps Bob Feller for $300, and it's got my curiosity. So if we go back there, I'll definitely want to look at that again. But I found this, it's unsealed, 1989 Upper Deck set for $45. And I checked the inside, and I didn't really look at the individual cards bit. This caught my eye, as it would any collector opening this up. There's a pretty nice looking Griffey rookie. I think there's a little ding in the corner here, and there might be a little surface issue going on up in that upper corner. I'll have to pull that out and have a look at it more closely. But it also had a Randy Johnson rookie card, and that looked like it was in really great shape. And John Smoltz and Gary Sheffield. So those were the key rookies. And again, I did not look inside to see how things were there. But I thought, it's rare to find a complete set of this, even though it's unsealed, for that price. It just, the only other one I ever saw in an antique mall was priced at $75. And if you go on eBay, getting one of these for under $100 is pretty slim. I do have a factory sealed one that I did spend, I think, $110 for, but that one I may keep sealed. There was a place that I did not film called Heritage Antique Center, which is on the north of the Turnpike on 272, and they had a booth that was full of top loaders, comic book storage, sleeves, things for sports pennants, coins. It was just a booth that was just full of this, and I keep forgetting to get myself some stands for this channel so that when I have an interesting card, I can just boop, boop, and there you go. These were 75 cents each, so instead of fussing about what the price could be, if that was a good price, I just didn't care. It was like 75 cents. I might as well get these while I'm there. At Adam's Antiques, all I bought was this. It was a 1998 media guide for the Phillies, and this was $3. And this is just chock full of information. There are statistics, histories, biographies, records, anything you could ever want to know about the Phillies in 1998. And for $3, I just had to get this. That was from the same seller that had the yearbooks and things that I didn't quite pass my sniff test. All right, I guess we're off to 272 Antiques, which is where I got most of the stuff from, and I bought this KB set. We had previously opened up the 1987 set of this on this channel, and this is what the 87 box looked like. And so I don't know what year this is because it doesn't have a copyright. Oh, wait a minute. 1989. Okay. All this time I thought I didn't know when this was made, but it was made in 89. So this is the 89 set, and this is the checklist if you want to look at it. We'll open this up in a future video, okay? And I had to get the Ziploc cards. If you noticed earlier in the video, there was also Ralston Purina in that shot, and I already have that set, so that one didn't interest me. But I've never seen Ziploc cards before, and it turns out that it's actually 11 cards in the set, and there are 2 sets in this package, and $5 I thought was a pretty great deal for this. And remember, it was 20% off that 5, and it looks like they included the original packaging in which these cards were shipped. So I thought that was pretty cool. And the $2 mystery packs, this is what I bought. 19 of them, I believe. And we'll give you a little sampling of them, but we're going to open these up in a future video. There's an 81 Scott McGregor with an 81 Fleer Lee May on the back. There's Tom Glavine from 90 Upper Deck and Griffey on the Dream Team on the back. So I don't know what's between these. It's a pretty decent amount of cards, I'd say. They could all be junk wax. We'll find out in that video. That's Craig Biggio from Upper Deck and Matt Williams on the back. There's an 81 Fleer Eddie Murray and an 83 Ken Singleton on back. Here's Mike Schmidt from Upper Deck. 86 Topps Ozzie Virgil. Some of these were just team packs, like this one's Pirates with Starling Marte and Gary Redus on the back. And here's like Reds. This was Joey Votto from Panini Select and Aroldis Chapman. But I'm not going to go through all these. We'll save them for another video. It'll probably take a half hour, I'm thinking, just to open all that up. But let's get to the big stuff. And that was from that first booth that I went to in 272 Antiques. I did want that Joe Morgan. That Joe Morgan looked pretty good to me. $15 seems like a fair price, but it was also 22% off that price. So that was like, another $3 off of this, I guess. It does have some corner wear on the bottom and maybe a little bit up at the top, but it's centered not too bad for a 68 card. And this one's famous because it has this unidentifiable object in the sky. Maybe a UFO. I suspect that's a flagpole with a flag back there that's just out of focus, but we're going to call it a UFO. And on the back, I didn't notice this at first, but there's a little bit of paper loss up here that I missed, but I still don't think that distracts from how nice this card looks. And also from the 68 set, I got the Billy Williams. Again, this was $18.50 plus another 22% off. So that would have been like, I guess, maybe $4 less than this. I'm just guessing. Some corner wear, but the centering is pretty good on it. The back looks really great too. And I had to get the RBI leaders from this one. Is Yastrzemski, Killebrew, and Robinson, and this was just $10. But I think it was marked down that much because there's a little bit of indentation, 2 indentation marks on Killebrew's cap there, so it must have gotten scratched at some point. But it didn't go through the paper. There's no paper loss. It just seems like an indentation. Okay. And that was my first trip into 272 Antiques. Those $2 packs I got on my third stop in there, just using the bathroom. So my second stop, because I saw a card there that I was just thinking about, and this is not it, but I went in to get that card the second time and also left with this, 1960 Bill Mazeroski. And I thought this was pretty sharp for how old it is. The centering is off, but it has white borders all across it. It's not that bad of a cut. The corners are a little bit soft, but pretty sharp, I'd say, for what you find from back that far. And there's the back of it. And the big purchase of the trip was this Fergie Jenkins rookie card from 1966. And actually, my wife bought this for me. Our anniversary was on Friday, and I bought for her a white Falstoria swung vase that she had never seen before, and she thought it was a pretty good price. So I bought that for her anniversary, and she bought this for me. And the price was $85, and high-end Beckett value and eBay value for this might be like 200 to 250 in if it's in pretty good shape for a raw card. So I thought this was a pretty good deal. It has some corner wear on all four corners, the lower ones more so than the top ones. The centering is not too bad. It's off center both left and right and up and down. There's a little bit of edging issue down here. You probably can't see it, but it's not too bad. And if we flip it over, you can sort of see the corner down. The corners have some wear down there, and this one up here looks pretty sharp, but this one over here has some wear. But for $85, and again, 22% off of that, so that would be like, let's see, like 17 and some change, less than this price. And by the condition of this card, I think this retail might be like $125, $150. So I thought this was a wonderful deal, and it was the highlight of our trip to Adamstown. So I was really, really happy to get this. I don't run into very many Hall of Fame rookie cards from the 60s that are in this condition. Really, really don't. So I just had to jump on that. I wish I could have gotten that Phil Necro, but if that Phil Necro rookie card had been priced more like this, I probably would have bought it. And then I would have come home with two great rookie cards. But alas, that didn't happen. All right, I'm going to briefly go over some of the places I didn't film. Lancaster County Antique Center, that's where my wife got her white Falstoria vase, swung vase, and they had a lot of antique toys, vintage toys, glassware and stuff like that, but they didn't have any baseball cards, so I didn't film that store, but it was a really nice place to check out. Pine Hills Antique Mall is much further north on 272, and that had a lot of glassware, a lot of neat things to look at, but in terms of baseball cards, I only found 2 stacks of 1987 Topps in like sandwich bags, and the prices were ridiculous, so it wasn't worth filming that for the purposes of this video. Adamstown Antiques Mall, that one was mostly primitives and a lot of country, old agricultural kind of stuff was in there. Again, I didn't find any baseball cards there, so I didn't film it. And south of the turnpike, further south than the 272 Antiques, is a place called Mother Tucker's Antiques and Collectibles, and that was a smaller place, but there was one booth there that had autographed baseballs and a few factory sealed sets. The prices on the factory sealed sets were a little too high for my liking, so I didn't bite. It was a nice little place. Had a lot of different things. There were definitely toys and vases and signs and all, the stuff you normally find in there. And that place wasn't far from a place I used to go to many, many years ago called Record Connection, and that's just a couple stores down from that, and they have a big room full of vinyl and another room with CDs, and I used to go there because they were one of the few CD stores that had a section specifically for progressive and psychedelic rock, and I used to go there a lot, but since the internet, I've gotten much better deals shopping online than making the drive all the way down to that place. So we didn't have time to stop in there, and I don't know if I would have filmed it because this channel is focused on baseball cards. So I hope you enjoyed the video. Thanks a lot for watching. Again, if you ever get a chance to go into that area, it's east of Harrisburg, west of Reading, north of Lancaster. Again, exit 286 on the turnpike. Look for the Ephrata Reading exit. Once you get off there, go under 222 through 2 lights. There's one last light. That is Route 272. You can go north or south, and there are more stuff north, but there are a couple places south along that road. But be careful when you're on it. It's a 45-mile-an-hour road, and while you're looking at things, you don't want to crash into somebody. So you have to be careful, and be careful of other cars that are also lost trying to find their way to all the different antique malls. I'll put some links down below for the places that I visited. I'm not sure if all of them have websites, but some of them do, and I think there's a website for the extravaganza. So go check those out if you're curious and want to go to this area and do some shopping yourself. I highly recommend it. So thanks again for watching. Beep beep, everybody. Hope you have a great day.